Did you know that the top 1% of wealthy Americans are not afraid of debt? In fact, they use debt as a weapon. Today, I'm going to show you exactly 5 secret ways the 1% use debt to make money. The complete 2026 guide. Think about this for a second. Billionaires like Jeff Bezos have been taking out massive bank loans year after year, but they're paying less in taxes than you and me. Is that corruption? Absolutely not. It's called the system. And in this video, you're going to learn exactly how that system works. By the end of this video, you will know the difference between good debt and bad debt, how to buy income-generating assets using borrowed money, the brand new 2026 tax law called OBBA and what opportunities it creates for you, and exactly how you can start using these strategies today. But first, let me ask you something. Did your parents ever tell you, never go into debt? Debt is dangerous. Debt will ruin you. And yet, the wealthiest people in America are doing the exact opposite. Why? That question is what this entire video is built around. Let's get into it. Meet Joe. Joe is a 30-year-old guy living in Chicago. He brings home about $5,000 a month. He's got credit card debt, a student loan, and he tells himself every single day, I'll start investing once I pay everything off. Now meet Michael. Michael is also 30, also lives in Chicago, and makes almost the exact same income as Joe. But Michael did something different. He took out a loan and bought a small rental property. That property now pays him $800 every single month in passive income. Fast forward 10 years. Joe is still grinding at the same job, still paying off the same debts. Michael now owns 3 properties, has a small business, and is nearly financially free. Was the difference in their income? No. The difference was entirely in how they thought about debt. Here's the biggest financial mistake the American middle class makes. They treat all debt like it's the enemy. But wealthy people understand something most people never learn. Not all debt is created equal. Bad debt looks like this: financing an iPhone on a credit card, taking out a car loan on a vehicle that loses value every single year. These are called liabilities. They only consume your money. Good debt looks like this: borrowing money to buy something that generates more income than the cost of the loan itself. Real estate, businesses, income-producing assets. That right there is the first rule of wealth building. Strategy number 1: real estate leverage. The number 1 strategy wealthy Americans use is called real estate leverage. The concept is simple. Use a small amount of your own money, borrow the rest from the bank, and buy a large asset. Let's say you have $50,000 saved up. If you invest that directly, you have a $50,000 asset. But if you use that $50,000 as a down payment, the bank hands you a $200,000 property. That is leverage, using other people's money to grow your own wealth. Now that property generates rental income every month. That rental income pays off your mortgage, and the property itself appreciates in value every single year. So, your tenant is paying down your loan while the asset grows in your name. Value reset. Real estate leverage means buy the asset with the bank's money, let your tenant pay off the loan, and keep the growing wealth for yourself. Strategy number 2, the HELOC strategy. Strategy number 2 is a little more advanced, and it's one of the most powerful tools in real estate. It's called a HELOC, Home Equity Line of Credit. Here's how it works. As you pay down your mortgage, you build equity in your home. The bank will let you borrow against that equity. Let's say your home is worth $300,000. You've paid off $100,000 of the mortgage. The bank can now offer you a line of credit up to that $100,000. You take that money and buy another rental property. Now you have 2 assets, but you only ever came out of pocket for the first down payment. This strategy is called recycling equity. You pull equity from one asset and use it to acquire the next. Wealthy people run this cycle over and over again. The more assets you own, the more equity you build, and the more borrowing power you have. Value reset. A HELOC turns your home into a legal ATM, one you use to buy more income-producing assets, not vacations. Strategy number 3. Tax-advantaged debt. Strategy 3 is the most powerful one and the least talked about. Under U.S. tax law, mortgage interest is tax-deductible. That means the government is essentially subsidizing the cost of your debt. You're borrowing money and getting a tax break for it at the same time. Now let's talk about the 2026 tax landscape. OBBA, the One Big Beautiful Budget Act. This new legislation includes several key provisions that are massive opportunities for real estate investors and small business owners. Bonus depreciation is back at 100%. That means if you buy a qualifying asset this year, you can write off the entire cost in year one. Let me break that down simply. You take out a loan and buy a rental property. The mortgage interest, deductible. The depreciation on the property, deductible. The maintenance and repair costs, deductible. So, the property is generating income for you, and almost every cost associated with it reduces your tax bill. That is what wealthy people call tax-efficient wealth building. And if you live in a high-tax state, listen closely to this. The SALT deduction, state and local tax deduction, has historically been capped at $10,000. Under the OBBA provisions being discussed for 2026, that cap could be raised to $40,000 for higher income earners. That is a game-changing difference if you live in New York, California, or New Jersey. When you use debt to buy assets, mortgage interest, depreciation, and SALT deductions can dramatically reduce your tax bill, legally. Strategy number 4. Business debt as a wealth engine. Strategy 4 is business debt. Personal debt and business debt operate in completely different worlds. Business loan interest, fully tax deductible. Equipment purchased with a business loan, depreciable. Operating expenses, deductible. Here's the picture. You start a small business, you take out a $50,000 SBA loan, you buy equipment with that loan. That equipment now generates revenue for your business. And before you pay a single dollar in taxes, the equipment depreciation, the loan interest, and your operating costs are all subtracted. You're taxed on net profit, not gross income. And here's a 2026 bonus most people are completely sleeping on. 530A accounts, also being called Trump accounts in some circles, are a newly proposed savings vehicle. When you combine this with a solid business structure, you can begin building generational, tax-efficient wealth for your family in a way that simply wasn't available before. One more critical point here. Wealthy people use LLC or S-Corp structures for their business debt. Why? Because it separates business liability from personal liability. If the business struggles, your personal assets, your home, your savings, remain protected. That is called asset protection strategy, and it's non-negotiable for serious wealth builders. Value reset. Business debt equals tax-deductible cost plus income generation. This is a completely different financial instrument than personal debt. Strategy number 5. The infinite banking concept. Strategy 5 is the most mysterious one on this list. It's called the infinite banking concept, or IBC. Ultra-wealthy families have been quietly using this strategy for generations, and most everyday Americans have never even heard of it. Here's how it works. You purchase a whole life insurance policy. Over time, that policy builds what's called a cash value. And here's the key. You can borrow directly against that cash value. You essentially become your own bank. The interest rate on this loan is lower than most banks. It does not affect your credit score. The money you receive is not subject to income tax. And while you're borrowing against the policy, the full cash value continues to grow at the same time. Walt Disney used this exact strategy when he built Disneyland. Banks refused to give him a loan, so he borrowed against his own life insurance policy's cash value and used that money to build the most famous theme park on Earth. The rest is history. Value reset. Infinite banking means becoming your own bank, borrowing against your whole life insurance cash value for tax-free capital deployment. Now let's go deeper. Let's talk about the money psychology behind all of this. Why are most Americans terrified of debt? Because the generation before us borrowed money for consumption, for cars, for appliances, for things that lost value the moment they brought them home. But wealthy people borrow for production. They borrow to acquire things that generate more money. That single mindset shift from consuming with debt to producing with debt is the biggest wealth gap between the middle class and the wealthy. It's not income, it's not luck, it's philosophy. Robert Kiyosaki said it best in Rich Dad, Poor Dad. The rich don't work for money. They make money work for them. And debt is the exact tool that allows you to put other people's capital to work building your personal wealth.
Here's a real number to put this in perspective. Imagine you had taken out a loan and purchased a $200,000 property in Dallas, Texas, just 10 years ago. Dallas real estate has appreciated by over 180% in the last decade. That property would be worth over $560,000 today. But your out-of-pocket investment? Just $40,000 as a down payment. That is the compounding power of leverage. And here's why 2026 is a critical window. The Federal Reserve has been gradually cutting interest rates. Mortgage rates are starting to come down. When rates drop, borrowing becomes cheaper, and the return on leverage becomes more powerful. The investors who position themselves correctly right now are the ones who will look back in 10 years and say, that was the moment everything changed. Practical takeaway, 8:30 to 9:45. All right, let's make this real. Here is your 3-step action plan starting today. Step 1, do a debt audit. Grab a piece of paper, draw 2 columns. On one side, list every piece of bad debt you have. Credit cards, car loans, anything that takes money out of your pocket every month. On the other, ask yourself, what debt could actually make me money? Step 2, fix your credit score. You cannot access good leverage without good credit. A 720-plus credit score unlocks the best interest rates and the best loan terms. Go to Credit Karma or Experian right now and check your score. If it's low, start simple. Pay your bills on time. Keep your credit utilization below 30%. Small steps now create massive leverage opportunities later. Step 3, plan your first good debt move. Here's a simple framework based on your income level. If you earn under $50,000, look into an FHA loan or SBA microloan to get started with a small income-producing property or business. If you earn $50,000 to $100,000, explore a HELOC or conventional investment property loan. If you earn $100,000 plus, it's time to seriously look at commercial real estate or business acquisition loans. And before any of this, go talk to a CPA or tax advisor. The OBBA provisions, the SALT deduction changes, and the 100% bonus depreciation rules, a professional will show you exactly how these apply to your specific situation. Wealthy people pay for expert advice because they know spending $500 to save $5,000 in taxes is the easiest investment you'll ever make. Let's do a quick recap of all 5 strategies. Strategy 1, real estate leverage. Buy with the bank's money, let your tenant pay the loan. Strategy 2, HELOC strategy. Pull equity from one asset to fund the next. Strategy 3, tax advantage debt. Use OBBA, SALT, and depreciation to legally slash your tax bill. Strategy 4, business debt. Borrow to generate income and deduct every cost. Strategy 5, infinite banking. Use whole life insurance to become your own tax-free lender. Let me leave you with one final thought. Remember Joe and Michael? Joe feared debt. Michael respected debt, and then he put it to work. 10 years later, they live completely different financial lives, not because of luck, not because of income, but because of one decision made in their early 30s. Here's something most people don't realize. The largest wealth transfer in American history is happening right now. Baby boomers are passing down their assets to the next generation. An estimated $84 trillion will change hands over the next 2 decades. The people who understand leverage, who own assets, who master tax strategy right now, they will ride that wave. Everyone else will watch it pass them by. So here's the question I'll leave you with. Which one are you going to be, Joe or Michael? Because the knowledge is right here. The window is open. The only thing left is the decision. If this video gave you value and you want to take the very next step, watch my next video right now. How to buy your first rental property with little to no money down, 2026 step-by-step guide. In that video, I walk you through exactly how to acquire your first income-generating property in America, even if you're starting with less than $5,000. The link is on your screen right now. Don't scroll past it.